Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing this 2019 GMC Terrain SLE. So this GMC Terrain is pretty much just a very modern SUV that is a great daily driver and has a lot of modern day conveniences that a lot of people would appreciate in a family vehicle. Now I'm going to go over some of those, especially when I'm sitting in the car and I'm actually driving it. But like if you guys have seen some of my previous videos, you've guys kind of seen me rant about a lot of the modern day conveniences that come in these SUVs and trucks and even the modern cars. So some of the stuff I don't really like, but again, it's really attractive, I guess, in the average consumer's eyes. All right, so just right off the bat, just talking about this body, I do like the overall design of it. It is actually a little, honestly, in my opinion, a little lower slung than some SUVs that I've seen before. And I do really like this factory color. But basically, I'm just going to go over some dimensions real quick. So the overall length of this vehicle is 182.3 inches. The width is 72.4 inches. And the height is 65.4 inches. And it has a actual wheelbase of 107.3 inches. Now also this SUV actually has a ground clearance of an even 7 inches and a curb weight of actually 3,756 pounds with a towing capacity actually of 3,500 pounds. So these wheels are actually the 17-inch kind of aluminum factory wheel with 12 and a half brake rotors in the front and actually just 11-inch rotors in the rear. Alright guys, so now we actually have the hood popped on this SUV, and right off the bat you can see the 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder double overhead cam 4-valve per cylinder engine with, actually it has a cast aluminum block. Obviously you can't tell, but it does have a cast aluminum block from factory. And right off the bat, I do just want to say that I really like this engine bay compared to most modern day vehicles. Now, if you've seen my videos before, if you've seen specifically my reviews before, I always rip on modern day vehicles for just having plastic over everything. Now, yes, this does have a plastic covering over the actual engine itself, but you can still kind of see the exhaust, the very tiny turbo, and you know, the intake and all that. Like sometimes honestly, like these modern day vehicles just have plastic over literally everything, even like the little intake box, and honestly it just makes it more hard and more cumbersome to deal with mechanically, I feel like. Now yes, it's just plastic, so it's not that big of a deal, but especially if you have the car and you're trying to do repairs on your own with it, it's a lot harder to actually figure out the problem that's like wrong with it, especially if smoke's just coming out of it and plastic's just over the entire thing. So this engine actually produces 252 brake horsepower at 5,500 RPMs and 260 foot-pounds of torque at 2,500 RPMs. So it's definitely more than enough power as a daily. Now yes, it's still pretty slow with a curb weight of just over 3,700 pounds. But I mean, if you wanted to get out into traffic, you can do it, and you can kind of have your foot on the floor in this thing and still get ridiculous gas mileage. So speaking about gas mileage, I'm actually just going to talk about the transmission a little bit. So the transmission that's actually in this car is a Hydromatic 9T50 9-speed automatic shiftable transmission. So this car actually is all-wheel drive. So when you combine the turbo inline 4-cylinder, which is a very small engine, with the 9-speed shiftable automatic transmission and the all-wheel drive, you get a pretty impressive miles per gallon number. So for city miles per gallon, this car actually averages around 22 miles per gallon during city driving. And this car actually also averages around 28 miles per gallon during highway driving for a combined miles per gallon average of 26 miles per gallon. Now I know that the year is 2020 and we've seen a lot of technological advances with vehicles, even, you know, commuter cars, and we've seen, you know, MPG numbers even up in like the 30s and the 40s, which I find like pretty ridiculous. Even with something in the high 20s like this, you're still probably not going to, you know, fill up at like even once a week. Like, you're still, even if you're commuting every single day, you're probably going to fill up around like 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks, like that kind of time frame. So this does give you a lot of it does give you a pretty decent amount of range, especially if you're using this vehicle as a daily driver. All right, guys, so before I actually sit in the driver's seat and show you guys all the different features of this car, I did just kind of want to go over the cargo space. Now, I just want to show you guys what it looks like in here. I'd say the trunk is between like medium to large compared to other SUVs, but it's not like, there's not a ridiculous amount of room. Like, this isn't some like XL SUV like a Suburban or Tahoe. Actually, an Excursion would actually be a better example for like an XL SUV. So this is definitely not one of those, but there's still plenty of room in here, especially if you're considering buying this specific vehicle for a family vehicle, for a daily driver, occasional road trips, stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure it actually has seating for 5, so there's not like a third row, which some people might find like not really ideal, but honestly, in my own opinion, I think it's plenty of space. All right, guys, so now I'm actually sitting in the driver's seat, and first thing that I noticed is that this SUV actually doesn't have as much features compared to other modern day SUVs, which some people might not like, but honestly, in my own opinion, I do think that it's a lot less complicated and a lot less simpler, which I find more ideal. So first thing you can kind of see on this little dash overlay is you do have a mini touchscreen, and basically just, you know, simple gauges. It looks like right here you can actually connect your phone via Bluetooth to this vehicle, which I know a lot of people like, and just a decent amount of settings, like just kind of like your normal amount of features. But yeah, for now I'm basically just going to take it for a little drive and let you guys know what my, you know, initial reactions and opinions are while actually driving this. All right, guys, so I'm actually driving this thing now, and the first thing that I noticed when I got in it, I actually didn't know this before, it actually has just under 3,400 miles on it. It actually is 3,394 miles on it. So this is basically, you know, brand new. I don't really have any complaints for it. Again, it's not too complicated in here. Like, there's not a lot of modern day conveniences, but the seats definitely, I really like the seats. They hold you in really nice. They actually kind of have like a slight bucket design, and they are cloth seats. They're not leather seats, so some people might actually like the cloth seats better. I personally, I mean, it doesn't matter too much to me, but I mean, from what I can kind of feel from this car, or from this SUV I should say, is that it is put together pretty nice. Again, it's brand new, so I don't really know how reliable it is until it really gets some miles on it. But from what I've seen just in it, any plastic that is in it is like hard plastic. It doesn't seem like it's really cheap. The steering wheel feels nice. It kind of has, it's not like, it's kind of like a type of like leather. It's not like really good leather. It does kind of have like 2 little indents, I guess, in the design to kind of help you grip it a little bit better. But everything's super responsive. It handles bumps pretty well. But again, you don't really know. The only thing that's bad about driving new cars is that I can't tell you guys like the reliability on it, because it doesn't have a lot of miles on it. Alright, so when you do kind of accelerate on it, it is I don't want to say laggy, but it definitely is not, you know, super quick, but it's, I guess, the type of power that you'd be looking for in a, you know, family vehicle, in a daily family SUV. That being said, you can probably drive it, and even if you're not like being super conscious of your fuel economy and trying to drive it like super slow, with the inline 4 and the turbocharged inline 4 that it does have, even if you do floor it from time to time, you can still probably get, you know, fantastic gas mileage with it. I mean, it's not a V6, it's not a V8, so when you do floor it, you're not really eating up a lot of fuel. Plus, it's, you know, it's completely stock. It does have the factory tune on it, which definitely kind of chokes up, I guess, the engine's performance a little bit, but definitely gives you a lot better fuel economy. And another, I guess, pretty obvious thing, or expected thing about something that's brand new, is that it does have absolutely zero steering wheel slop. Everything feels fine. The transmission feels good going into gears. It doesn't feel clunky at all or anything like that. All right, guys, that's pretty much just going to wrap up today's review, today's video. If you stuck to the end, definitely be sure to leave a like. Be sure to tell me what I did good. If I missed anything, definitely let me know down in the comments below. Also, let me know down in the comments below if you're looking for this specific vehicle, if you own this specific vehicle, and if you have any questions, or again, anything that I missed on this review. But yeah, definitely be sure to subscribe, be sure to like the video, and until the next one, see you guys.